This lesson is about the difference between vowels and consonants. I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to look at the difference between vowels and consonants. Firstly, how many letters are there in the alphabet? Yep, 26. And how many of those are vowels? Right again, there are 5, and those vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Some people would also say Y, and I don't disagree with that. Later on, we'll learn how to teach that. What we're going to do is a scientific experiment to work out the difference between vowels and consonants. We're going to show the parts of the body that make speech sounds. Firstly, when I make a sound, what does it travel through to reach your ears? The answer is air. Now, when you take air into your body, where does it go? Right again, it goes to the lungs. So we need to start with a pair of lungs. Did you know that the air travels from your lungs through a hollow tube in your throat and up into your mouth? In fact, there are 2 hollow tubes there, one for food and water and the other for air. It's horrible when you get them mixed up. Along this hollow tube, there's a set of muscles that vibrate. They make sounds. Do you know what they're called? The answer is the vocal cords, or the larynx, or the voice box. You can choose. Continuing up the hollow tube, the air from the lungs reaches the mouth. Now, what things do you use in your mouth to make speech sounds? If you think about it, you use your tongue, your teeth, and your lips. If you try speaking without moving or using any of these parts, it's very difficult. For instance, if you hold your tongue still and try to speak, how does that feel? What about if you hold your lips still? How does that feel? And you must have met people with their 2 front teeth missing, especially 6-year-olds. They speak or they articulate a little bit differently. We need all of those things to help us make sounds, but that is our human articulatory mechanism. Now we're going to show how a consonant sound is made. Let's take the consonant P, like the last sound in the word tap. When you make the sound P, the air starts in the lungs, it comes up through the hollow tube. Does it make a sound, or does it have a sound here at the voice box? When you say P, what do you feel? Is it like whispering, or is your voice on? The answer is that it's like whispering. It's a quiet sound and your voice box isn't vibrating. There's some movement in your throat, definitely, but it's not the same kind of noisy sound as or z. It's a quiet sound. P. The air reaches your mouth, and then what happens to it? The answer is it presses against your lips and is released in a popping manner. My question to you is, did the air come out freely? Or did you have to make some effort to get it out? Did something get in the way? Was there something momentarily stopping that air from coming out? Did it have to push its way out? And the answer to these questions is yes. Because you answered yes to the last 3 questions and said that some effort had to be made to get the sound out, that is a consonant. Now we're going to contrast a consonant with vowels and see how that's made. Let's have the vowel A. When we make the sound A, the air starts in the lungs and moves along the hollow tube. Does it pick up a sound at the voice box? The answer here is yes, it does. A. When you put your hands over your ears, you can still feel the sound A vibrating. When it moves into your mouth, does anything get in the way, or does it come out just like singing? A, A, A. The answer is it comes out just like singing. This is a vowel. So therefore we can define a consonant as any sound that comes up through the human articulatory mechanism where there's an obstruction. You can do this with any consonant in the alphabet and you'll find that there's an obstruction along the way, or a constriction, that the air had to work harder to push its way out. Whereas with the vowels, A, E, I, O, U, your mouth may have made a different shape, but still there was no obstruction in the passage of that sound. That's what makes a vowel, and that's what makes a consonant. And having a full conceptual understanding of these things is helpful for people when they're learning to spell.